question. Have you ever wondered whether or not birds become more promiscuous after a couple lines of coke? Because your government sure has.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
And what I find interesting about this is that while most people will question the efficiency of government spending in general, they usually agree that spending on things like science and research has a pretty good, if not outstanding, track record. Things like the space program and the internet are two of the most popular examples of government-backed and even directed research that has led to incredible scientific breakthroughs and provided a host of technologies that we use and enjoy today. But before we go adding another zero to our taxes this year so politicians can invest in research, we should probably take a look at some of the less flattering examples of how government experts spend tax dollars on science. For instance, in 2019, US Senator Rand Paul published a report that revealed that the National Science Foundation spent over $460,000 studying frogs in Panama, to include a rather large portion on mating calls and habits. The year before that, Senator Paul revealed that the National Institutes of Health spent over $870,000 studying the sexual habits of Japanese quail while they were high on cocaine. And while they are legally free to pursue such interests, I'm beginning to wonder how much of our tax dollars they need for it. Because as ridiculous yet harmless as all of this sounds, unfortunately, not all government research is as benign as hopping animals up on cocaine and getting them to hook up while people in lab coats record it.
Write that down, write that down!
Case in point, after months of government denials, social media bans, and the press persecuting anyone who said otherwise, it turns out that the US government was in fact contributing to gain-of-function research at the Wuhan lab in China. Now, even if you concede that some gain-of-function research can be valuable in the development of vaccines, antidotes, or other medical products, it's really hard to understand why we would choose communist China as a partner in such research. And that's the other side of this argument, because it's easy to point to successes in government spending on research and come to the conclusion that, well, hey, without it, you wouldn't have received all of these benefits. But this commits the fallacy of the seen versus the unseen. Sure, the government can take money away from the private sector and spend it on scientific research, and sometimes it may even yield positive results. But the real question here is, does government-directed research give us better results than private sector-directed research? Because for every positive outcome of government research, there are more than a few examples of fraud, waste, abuse, and even catastrophic outcomes that we were forced to pay for whether we liked it or not. So the real question we have to ask ourselves is whether or not we are comfortable with more government control over science. Because with government funding comes more political manipulation. And you can learn more about that by watching this video right here. I'm Nick Freitas with the Y Minutes, where we challenge the popular narratives of our time. Visit our channel to subscribe and leave us a comment on what topic you'd like to see us cover next.